Good morning, sixth grade. Miss Carswell here. Please follow along to this introduction to inequalities. So before we get started on inequalities, let's do a quick review about equations. Remember, when we find the solution to an equation, we're finding the value of the variable that makes that equation true, or we say balances the equation. This hanger diagram shows the equation 7 is equal to 3x plus 1. And following my steps to solve an equation, I know that x is equal to 2. We call this the solution to the equation because when x is equal to 2, my equation is balanced. Inequalities are similar, but they have some important differences. To represent these differences, let's look at two different examples. The first is Felipe spent $10 at the store. The second example is Dennis spent more than $10 at the store. I can represent the amount that Felipe spent using an equation. F is equal to $10. There is only one possible solution to this equation, $10. There's also infinite non-solutions. Felipe did not spend $9. He did not spend $11. I can represent the amount of money that Dennis spent using an inequality symbol. This says D is greater than $10. This represents a set of many, actually infinite, possible solutions. Dennis could have spent $11, $12, even $4,000. There's also infinite non-solutions. Dennis did not spend $1, he did not spend -$5, he also didn't spend $10 because my inequality shows that Dennis spent more than $10. Let's review some inequality symbols. This symbol shows less than. This symbol shows greater than. I like to remember this using the picture of the alligator. The alligator's mouth is always open towards the bigger number because he's hungry and he wants to eat more. I would represent this inequality as 2 is less than 8. There's also two additional inequality symbols that we need to know. This one shows less than or equal to. This one shows greater than or equal to. So the line underneath the greater than or less than symbol adds the additional or equal to. Let's make sure we understand what the solution to an inequality means. What are some possible solutions to the inequality y is greater than 6? Some solutions are y could be 7, 8, 9, 100. Some non-solutions. Y cannot be 1, it cannot be 3, it also cannot be 6, because I know that y needs to be greater than 6. I want you to try this one, so go ahead and pause your video. Try to find some possible solutions to the inequality x is less than or equal to 12. Here are some of my solutions and non-solutions. You will note that 12 is a possible solution here because 12 is less than or equal to 12. Just like we practiced with equations, we can write inequalities from word phrases. The first one shows a spider has more than 6 legs. I would represent the number of legs as more than or greater than 6. H minus 12 is less than or equal to 24. And R divided by 4 is less than 14. There's also some new vocabulary that we need to make sure we understand. This example says Alessia spent at most $20. To figure out which way to write my sign, I like to think about some possible solutions. Alessia could have spent $20. She could have spent 19 or 18, but the most she could have spent is 20. Therefore, I would represent this as A is less than or equal to 20. The sum of 2 and W is at least 8, so the possible solutions are 8, maybe 9, maybe 10, as long as it's greater than or equal to 8. And Miss Carswell ate no more than 3 pieces of pie. So maybe I ate 3, maybe I ate 2 or 1. I definitely didn't eat 4 or 5 though. P is less than or equal to 3. I want you to pause the video and write an inequality to represent each of these word phrases.